And that's why Ganon is actually the good guy. Yo, welcome everyone. We have something a little bit special today because we're done with the quarterfinals, so we're up into the semifinals in every single bracket, and it starts right now today. My name is WaltherIV, and I'm joined with Mialee. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, this is going to be very exciting. Stakes are going to be very high. We have the number 2 and number 3 seed in the Master Sword bracket today. Itsotter versus Shaki. The rules are a little bit different from the other weeks. We don't have a specific format anymore. The runners can choose, and the higher seed picks the first seed. So it's going to be an open mode today, which we have seen a bit of that before. But another caveat is that there's no more mentors anymore. It's all mentorless from here on out.
Yeah, and it's also a best of 3, so we'll see at least one more game, and even maybe a decider one.
Yep. Yeah, it is best of 3, so no matter who wins today, there's going to be at the very least one more game.
Yeah, and the loser of this game here today will choose the next mode, and they have 4 different modes they can choose from. One is, of course, open. Then we have standard, ambrosia, and casual, which is standard with an assured sword.
Okay, looks like we are off, and both runners starting in Link's house getting bombs, so that's very nice. Getting before Kakariko. One of the reasons for doing the uncle start here is to get a couple of extra chances of getting some nice stuff before Kakariko. So getting those bombs, very nice.
Yeah, both picking also up the shield and smashing the blue guard for a heart, so they might be on a drop that features bombs later.
I like the decision from both here to head to Uncle first, because a little bit less backtracking to save and quit from here rather than from the Uncle.
Yeah, and now both save and quit and continue as Sanctuary as you normally do. Checking out the chest there for the small key. So if they get later access to the grave and to the back, they can go into the Dark Cross.
All right, so both of them heading into the forest first before going into Kakariko makes a lot of sense. Pretty much the standard routing here, with the Uncle start from both of them, and with having all having the bombs, 3 of them, which is exactly what you need to get through like the main part of Kakariko. You're not gonna have to do any extra stops on the way here, which is good because they don't actually have money to buy bombs at the moment. But they're quite likely to have enough money after doing these initial checks. They're gonna get 50 at the very least from the pots, and then quite likely they'll pick up a little bit more than that as well.
Yes, that's more than likely, and we will see the first checks here in Blind's hut in a second, and we start with another bomb, so that's covered for the race game, should they do it? A shield, some money, and some love. Let's see what's in the bag.
So not the best start in Kakariko, but you know there's so many checks in this area, so they're bound to get at least something good before they're done here.
Yeah, either that or if absolutely nothing is here, what happened to me personally before, and I think to everyone else as well, they will have to check the other spots, south, the shore, or maybe eastern.
Mm-hmm. You know, speaking of South Shore, we did get a book, which when doing the South Shore, I know a lot of people head over to Agina. With that book, we could actually head all the way into Desert as well. So it's I guess our first real progression that we found so far.
Yes, and I wonder if someone or one of those will check pedestal early to see. Oh, and I see we get flippers from the bottle vendor here.
All right, so I hope that none of our runners were hoping to do hula hand because won't be able to do that at this point. If we find the gloves, we could do it, but
Yeah, that's off the menu now, so you have to get your money somewhere else.
all right. So all in all, our Kakariko being pretty empty, I would say. You got at least some stuff that is, you know, kind of nice, but you at this point you kind of expect to get a bit more than this.
Yeah, and with this library also holding just 10 pointy sticks, and the race game also just to be some rupees head to the shore.
Yeah, so Shaki having a little bit of a lead going into the South Shore. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if they decide to diverge here in the South Shore, because there's definitely a couple of different ways you could route it.
Yeah, I think both will head to them first, but then it's maybe into desert or towards Mini Mordom and the Iceward Cave, so we'll see.
Yeah, looks like they're both opting to head into the dam first here, which I think is the most standard way of doing it. Shaki is gonna head over here towards Agina and probably into desert as well after that. So it's gonna get that book is gonna unlock at the very least one item from the desert ledge, but potentially two more if we get a good key layout in desert. You see a map check there as well. It looked like it was all crystals. At the very least two of them were crystals. But I think Hera was a crystal as well.
I just got a glimpse of the desert, and that was a crystal. I saw the one there.
And it looks like according to our tracker, they were all crystals. The Hera being the 5-6 crystal. So shout outs to our tracker today, Oro, doing a fantastic job keeping us honest here. And we get a pair of gloves in Agina, which is very interesting. It's one of those items you need for desert, but we're still missing a weapon and a fire source in order to be able to complete it, and potentially even boots. So it's highly unlikely they'll get all that before being done here.
Yeah, but at least you got the gloves, with opens up some more locations. Also, the back of escape, and with the key already in their pocket, they can opt for going into Dark Cross without the lantern.
Yeah, a little bit scary, I think, to go into the Dark Cross backwards with no weapons but bombs. I guess the boomerang does help a lot from there, but yeah, it is a good semi-quick point here at Agina or if you go into desert, also a good saving point. So wouldn't be surprised to see both of them go for back escape here. Itsotter is definitely deciding to do so. Shaki finding out that it is boots locked in desert, so it's gonna use saving quit from there as well.
Yeah, seems like Otter just didn't realize that he could go inside, or just assuming that it's boots locked and he will come back later, and finding a sword in the back of his cape. So it's our first weapon.
Yeah, very nice weapon to have. Very reliable. It's not the best sword, but you know, it's better than no sword.
Yeah, Shaki in the meantime already on his way to Hobo. And Otto decides to go south towards Mini Moldom Cave now with the sword on his side.
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. This is our most item dense area at the moment. You can get 5 quick items from here and then grab a additional one at Ice Road Cave. Might be that Shaki is doing the same thing here, but just doing the flipper stuff like combined to it. So he might end up swimming down to Ice Road Cave here, or maybe just head to the Waterfall Cave first. Itsotter has to be a little bit careful here. Only 1 heart. Makes it through though. There's a potential of getting some refill of your health in here as well.
And he said a mushroom, so it's a little bit of a side or fetch quest going to the witch's hut, and it's the mirror for Shaki in the Waterfall Cave.
Yeah, very good finds. Well, mushroom, we don't really know quite yet. But, ooh, there's a hammer as well. So the flipper stuff being super required today. Yeah, that actually, if we want to sequence break up the mountain, just basically opens up everything up there.
Mirror and hammer allowing for so many things up there. And it seems like Otter is going to find this stuff as well in a few seconds.
Yeah, looks like it. I think they skipping Ice Road Cave. It looked like it. Shaki is gonna. They're just gonna switch sides here. Looks like Shaki is gonna head down to Mirror Moldrum now, and itsotter is doing the flipper stuff here. Definitely gonna be happy they decided to go for that.
And then I'm a little bit. Yeah, what will they do afterwards? As most likely they will sequence break the mountain. It's out of logic right at the moment without Lantern, but it's very juicy up there, a lot of checks.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, Shaki taking a fall there, but using the iframes during that fall to be able to use quickly, take care of that one other Moldorm, but does get double hit here from one of the other ones and does end up taking a death. It's gonna have to try that again. And there's a hook shot in Ice Cave, so we don't want to skip that, that's for sure. Looks like Shaki is gonna head back. Yeah, having very low bomb count at the moment. We have been a bit stingy in terms of rupees so far, meaning that he pretty much has to go for those hammer strats here, unless you want to like use the last 2 bombs. And hammer can be very awkward weapon against the minimal arms because their movement is so random, especially when you try and hit them from below like that. Or that just makes it a little bit harder to hit them. 2 hearts here again has been played us a bit carefully. Only 1 heart, and it is another death here in the minimal cave. And meanwhile, itsotter is moving towards eastern area. At the very least, gonna check Sashla. And Shaki is gonna do backup escape here, so that is good. Gonna get that sword. And probably... Oh, never mind. We're gonna head up the mountain instead, looks like. He's gonna skip that sword for a little while. Probably not gonna hurt them too much up on the mountain, because Hammer can take care of most enemies here, and you're not gonna have to fight as many minimal rooms. Well, I guess there's a couple more you might have to fight.
Yeah, but it's also a little bit awkward to navigate those dark rooms without a sword, so without the little sparkles flying off of it. But
Yeah.
I think we are in the half final of the bracket here, so I think our runners are capable of doing so.
It looks like Shaki is deciding to use the boomerang, which is a very good backup strat here. And it looks like he's gonna get followed here by itsotter. Gonna head up the mountain as well. That hook shot is not gonna be too much of a pain missing up here, because with the mirror and hammer combined, we can get over to East F Mountain for Shaki. Itsotter, however, don't have that mirror or hammer, so it's not gonna be able to do the Tower of Hera. That much we know for sure.
Yeah, it seems like Shaki is a little bit lost.
Yeah, definitely showing how important the sword can be in there. It's sort of pretty much past Shaki through this dark room. Not sure exactly where in the dark room Shaki is at the moment. Sometimes it's almost good to just accidentally fall down that hole, because then you like get back to a place where you know where you are. Looks like we found our way out though.
Yeah, finally made it. Guided to Old Man home and is rewarded with 20 rupees.
There's a good point from our tracker Aura here is that there might be a fire-locked Hera, and if that's the case, Shaki is not going to be able to do it as well, because doesn't have that hook shot to be able to do the Hera pod at the moment.
Those are runners having the other half the other one would like to have, most likely, right now.
That Nature Link's bonus sprite gets me every time. That's a pretty solid one. Oh, well, I think that was a vanilla ether on the tablet. Very interesting. We don't know if we need that, but could definitely be something that we might have to come back to.
Yeah, the chance is there, and if Maya or third work is required, we don't know that yet.
Alright, so we got Paradox Cave coming up here. It's a cave where you normally find at least one or two good things. Let's see if that's the case today. We did see that Hera was not fire locked, so Shaki is going to be able to beat the boss at the very least. And Paradox Cave being a little bit of a downer here. Going to be able to do the Spiral Cave here as well. That's it for itsotter on the mountain. Meanwhile, Shaki is climbing the tower here, so yeah, gotta get at the very least one item, and maybe both of them, and be able to beat the boss. So that's probably gonna be our first crystal pickup.
Yeah, and with the hammer is actually the preferable weapon right now instead of a fighter sword, making it way easier to beat Mordom here.
Ooh, there's a lamp. Okay, so even if there is something in the basement, we can get it. also tells us that the way to get up the mountain is the flute. So everything up here is logically gonna be locked by the flute.
I'm interested where we will find this one. Maybe in Eastern, maybe at the Witch's Hut for the mushroom. And a blue mail, so it's both items here.
Right, so that's nice. Blue mail is actually gonna be pretty nice here on the fight as well, because you want to take half a heart instead of one full heart against Walter, and not super high in terms of health right now. I kind of missed that we did hit the safety switch though, so looks like Shaki was prepared for the worst no matter what. So Otter is going to do the flipper stuff now. Does have enough money for Sora now, so he's going to be able to do that as well, something that Shaki has kind of orphaned at the moment. Would be crazy if we had another big progression item in this small area of the world. Maybe it's that fluid that we need to get up the mountain.
That's exactly what I was thinking right now. Blue items for Zora.
Right, so that's crystal number 1. And itsotter might actually head up there for Hera as well, as soon as they are done here, because they're getting that both mirror and hammer. Very nice combo. Right, so Shaki is going to head over to the east of mountain as well. Going to be a little bit disappointed with what we're about to find over here, but probably not going to feel too bad about the mountain overall. That we got at least a crystal and a lamp as well, which is a nice progression item, especially when you don't have fire rod, because you're gonna be required to have a light source every now and then.
Yeah. And Otto finding something blue on Zora, but it's just bombs, so a little bit of a bumper there, and good for Shaki. He won't have to come back there.
Yeah, definitely good news for Shaki. Matching Shaki will probably not gonna go back to Sora until like maybe when they do catfish, but other than that, there's never really gonna be a good reason to go there.
Yeah. Or he's really desperate, searching for that go mode item and hoping it's there, but otherwise he won't be back.
So we are missing one kind of important thing at the moment, which is the Moon Pearl, in order for us to progress into the Dark World. And at this point, maybe the flute is used in the Dark World, and we weren't meant to go up the mountain quite yet. But we don't have a lot of spots open for it. It would be pretty much Eastern or the Mushroom at this point. Oh, I guess we haven't done Front of Escape as well, because this is open, so we didn't start with doing the escape sequence.
Yeah, and it's actually the only things that are left right now. So I'm very intrigued to see which one will choose Escape and which one will choose Eastern first.
Yeah, I feel like itsotter is probably going to be a little bit more incentivized to go into the castle, because they've already made that one trip over to Eastern area already to do Sashala. So maybe they want to like just skip Eastern for a little bit longer. Speaking of, Shaki is gonna head straight into escape here. Still haven't done the back yet. It's kind of interesting. It's not every day you see someone go for the front before the back, but it's something that can be easy to forget sometimes as well when you get the gloves, because most of your times, if you at least if you have done a lot of standards, or in this case, in this tourney where we've done a lot of ambrosias, you end up doing like the back of escape and just don't have to worry about it later. So it can definitely happen when you start playing some opens instead.
Yeah, it would be terrible if he forgot about it. So it's a sword, so it might end up either with just Master Sword later on, or even just Fighter Sword, and looking desperately for the last sword to beat Ganon.
Yeah, and we did get that small key in the Sanctuary, which actually puts all of front of escape in logic here, because you actually need that one small key in order for everything behind that first map chest to be in logic. So the lamp not being required for escape today, except for the dark sewers. Well, even in that case, it could be a fire rod requirement instead of lamp, I guess.
Yeah, and Otter in the meantime hitting on Mordor, which was a little bit mean to him for a little while, but now it's down. He's down, and Otter is grabbing his first crystal as well. And a moon pearl in the back of escape. Oh, okay, the back of the front of escape. So in the
Yeah.
principle,
Yeah,
hidden deep inside.
that's the correct call. Shaki, it looks like just thinking for a little bit there if he should do back of escape or dark sewers or not, and probably that pause might have been him remembering that he hasn't done the back yet, so you might want to do that before committing to the dark rooms. All right, so that's going to be some good news. He's going to get that sword before heading into Dark World. itsotter about to get some good news as well, because they're heading into escape as well. So they're also going to get that move pearl and get Dark World access. And it's an interesting scenario here, because with those early devs that Shaki took in the South Shore, could actually combo just going into the Dark World, doing Hype Cave, and then going down and like mirroring to minimal drum cave, which is not very often you get to see people do that.
Yeah, it's a special case here because Shaki died twice in the mini Mordom, and it seems like it's heading right there. So we will find his mushroom and the hookshot later on.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna go for all of South Shore before making the trip into the Dark World, which I can definitely understand as well. But yeah, definitely gonna be happy to see that hookshot. As soon as we get into the Dark World, it's a little bit interesting because we actually have full access to beating Swamp Palace already, which is very early because you need a lot of progression items to get in there. It's going to be interesting to see if any of the runners decides to go in there like super early. Can be a little bit awkward with only the fighter sword because the boss fight becomes quite obnoxious.
Yeah, and most likely depending if there's a crystal or a pendant, and if they find progression earlier, most Sink and Thieves Town and Village of Outcast first.
Yeah.
I was thinking a little bit about what to do next and decides to go for the Dark Cross here in Escape to open that chest that is theoretically way out of logic right now.
All right. So both runners kind of caught up with each other at this point. They both had few places. Ooh, that's a big find in the dark. We found our mitts, and that's gonna be very nice to have before going into the Dark World.
With the lamp being locked behind the flute, it's until you see the flute, they're not supposed to have this. So
Yeah, that's a good call. So we might not have our fluid in the mitts locked locations. It's hard to tell right now because if we get Fire Rod, that would get those mitts in logic. Yeah, this is going to be a nice advantage for itsotter to have in the Dark World gonna be able to do a little bit of extra checks than Shaki can do, and do stuff a little bit more efficiently. Just entering the portal from this side just saves time already. And yeah, Shaki have already done the front and the back of escape, so those mids are going to be quite isolated for some time. I think the best, timing to check them would probably be when you go over to check the pyramid, and you would be able to mirror and just head in there. But if he thinks that it's the map in that chest, then we're in for some real problems.
Yeah, and we're getting the map check here for the Dark World. And
Oh,
Skull was a pendant, Sea Song is a pendant, and Swamp Pilot is a pendant. So
yeah,
those
that's
three dungeons
terrible.
that are easily accessible are pendants.
Yeah, that's you don't like to see that.
It's the
That's
worst right now.
kind of gross. So I guess we're a fire roll away from being able to get all the pendants.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So, but no, none of both checked pedestal right now. So, and with two of them already accessible, and the third one just a fire out away, we might be in for a pet seat here.
It could definitely be the case. All right. So this is some interesting developments we're having in this race so far. It's definitely too early to call anything. Shaka is gonna go steal the key here, I think, just to guarantee being able to do everything in the front a little bit easier. I was wondering is maybe he was gonna do a pet check at the same time. That would be like the only good moment to do it without the fire rod. Oh, there's our float. So that's really nice. Get really good movement tech you can have with the float. Very good place to find it because you can use mirror here, activate it right away. And gonna be extra valuable for itsotter who has the mitts. Gonna be able to just enter some areas where Shaki cannot go with the float.
Yeah, it's opened so much up right now, and also puts everything in logic. What we have
Mm-hmm.
seen.
Yep. Right. So best case scenario, we're looking for a bow, fire and ice rod, King of Samaria, boots, and then at least one medallion, maybe two. Well, we know what one medallion is, so that might be it. We just would need like a master sword as well. Worst case, we might need, I guess, two medallions instead of one.
Yeah, so it makes for maybe a really quick seat. We're all just 30 minutes into the race. So let's hope they don't have to hunt too much for all these items.
Yeah, and it's already decided not to go up to Skullboats and gonna be kind of rewarded for that because didn't really get anything good out of Skullboats. No, none of the runners have checked Mushroom quite yet. Now that we have the Flood, we might get to see that in the near future.
Yeah, I can see Otter doing the dig game first, now picking up the Smiths and doing the Smiths chain in combination with all the checks leading to Hype Cave.
Yeah, and we did pick up a bow as well. I totally missed that. Was that from the big game?
No, I must have been either from the Village of Outcasts or from Thieftown. I didn't saw it.
All right, so we're probably gonna see it on Shaki's end quite soon as well here.
Our audience pays more attention. It was in a chess game, actually.
25 rupees for a bow. I wish every seed was like that.
Yeah, that's cheap.
Yeah. Okay, so we got some divergence going on here again. Shaki is gonna go for the back of Town. Makes a bit more sense in his shoes here because it doesn't have the mids, it doesn't have as much open. So if there's something back here, that could be a good advantage for Shaki. It definitely needs one at this point because the longer he's without those mids, the worse it might end up being hurting him unless he is able to get go mode mids, but that's probably not super likely.
It's actually, I personally think it's rather likely because he won't check the dark course of his escape anytime soon.
Yeah, I just think it's unlikely that it's possible for the mids to be go mode in this seed. I feel like at least one or two items are going to be locked behind those mids.
You see that? And there's a second sword in cave 45.
Okay, that's good news because we're going to need, well, one way or another, we're going to need that sword, but it also unlocks that Ether Medallion, which could be needed as well. Shaki taking out the hookshot here. Nice game knowledge, knowing the hookshot can one-shot these annoying enemies up here. Very nice vanilla placement for the shovel here. Super convenient when you have the mirror.
Yeah, but you have to pay very close attention because talking with this little guy there makes the chest unfollow you, and if you use the mirror too soon, you have to go back and collect it again.
Yeah, that would definitely be quite unfortunate. Shaki is tripping along here with one heart, doing a good job of avoiding taking any more damage. He's going to be able to pick up a few hearts down here. And also looks like we have a vanilla 1 rupee stun left. Big question for Otter here is going to be, do we go into Swamp or not? With having access to both Eastern and Pod as full clearable crystals, as well as, well, not Ice Pods, but at least 2 full clearable crystals, I don't think it's super likely. I might just head up to Hype Cave and then over to Pod Eastern combo.
Yeah, I think you will do some other checks first. Also check on Maya, which medallion is required there.
Yep. Looks like we are heading back to the portals. Probably Hype Cave at the very least, which makes sense. 5 items really quick to get as well. Gonna see a boss fight here for Shaki against Blind, and if you are good at the if you practice the what's it called, the script here, the 3 hearts is definitely all that you need, but it's definitely nice to have some extra just in case.
Yeah, and actually, Spider Sword makes it a little bit of awkward because your reach is so low.
Oh, he had a blue potion as well, so he was super safe here. I will say, that was quite some commitment. Oh, getting a blue potion back, so okay. Half magic from Hype Cave. Yeah, that was quite some commitment to not pop that potion earlier when he was walking around with 1 heart. Unless he picked that up. He must have picked up the other potion back here as well. I can't remember any other places we've gotten it. And gotta get the bow right after Feast on here, so might feel a little bit bad about that, because if he knew he had access to that bow, he might not have done the full clear of Feast on.
Yeah, this just the blue pendant and nothing really else inside. It's a little bit of a waste of time. heading over to Palace of Darkness, while Shaki does the checks without the mids right now, south of Village of Outcasts, so he's not able to do certain things that Otto already did. And getting a shield on the left side, so pot is bow locked, but as they just found one earlier, minutes ago, they can check out the right.
Yep, gonna start off with pot here. 5 items in here, an additional 3 in Eastern, both of them crystals. Seems like the play for sure. Would not be surprised to see Shaki do that as well, because this is something that admits is not blocking at the moment. So we'll be able to do this. The big question is if we're gonna see Shaki go to the pyramid first or not, and if he does, then will he mirror to do that Dark Sewers chest?
Yeah, if he does it would be really fortunate for him, picking up his mids. But first picking up his Master Sword.
Yep, gonna be kind of covering the same tracks that itsotter did, with him being delayed a little bit by doing the back of Feastown. Minus doing all the Smith chain stuff, but I think we didn't really get anything important from those at the very least, so in that sense, maybe saving a little bit of time even.
Yeah, and Otto finds the second item, it was 20 rupees in the front of pot, so everything else has to be a small key here. Picking up the first and now drops down to get the second, leaving the vanilla big key chest to itself.
Yeah, good game knowledge for sure. Key logic, quite important to know in a couple of dungeons, this one being one of them. I think one thing that would have been faster, if you know it's all keys, it probably would have been a little bit faster to drop down to the key first and then just grab the other key here on the way to the back. Other than that, looks like a really good sequencing here in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I think a lot of the runners learned a lot about key logic while doing this tournament.
Ooh, okay, Shaki might feel a little bit behind because they're heading into Swamp Palace here. Another pendant while you have 2 crystals open at the moment. That's usually a sign that you want to either go for some big plays or feeling behind. We'll get the green pendant, so we can turn that in on the way to bottom and Eastern, which will be some efficient routing. And with how early this was open, would it be too surprised to see at least one required item in here?
Logic points a little bit in this direction. I really hope it pays off for him.
This red mail in Palace of Darkness. We're gonna feel pretty safe after getting that, combined with how many hearts we have at this point.
Yeah, that makes you really feel safe right now.
Alright, so what do you think? What's gonna be our next progression item, or rather, where is it gonna be hiding? We have some divergence going on here, and let's see who gets it first.
I think Mario might be my favorite part right now to see next, and I think I might see it see some progression at a potion shop, because Mushroom was so early and none of both checked it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, definitely gonna feel probably a little bit bad from both runners if they see progression on mushroom, seeing how early they had it. Yeah, pod so far coming up a bit empty. Got that safety in terms of the weapon, but other than that, I think there's pretty much nothing. There might still be an item in the post here. I'm not quite sure about that one. Shaki is deciding to go for the left side swamp here. Does have bombs to do it, but not too many. So he's gonna have to make sure that they get this one because yeah, you don't have too many tries here.
Those two tries, and if he fails, he actually has to leave and get back. That was one.
Yeah, I missed the first one. Stakes are high here right now. Oh, that does not look good. Okay.
Unfortunate, so no small key anymore to reach, so he has to get out and reset the dungeon if he wants to finish it.
Yeah, that's gotta feel terrible.
Yeah, and naturally decides not to. Can't blame him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not even gonna be able to do hype cave here right away when there are no bombs, but there is a bomb shop right above here where Link's house is in the Dark World. I'm not gonna go for that, but there is another shop here that we're heading towards. Skipping that one too though. So we're just gonna be skipping hype cave for now. And we'll see if it goes going towards Potting Eastern.
Yeah. Catching up with Otter, who just finished Pods, beating Helmershauser and getting a second crystal, and now heads into Eastern.
Yeah, so there's definitely been a couple of some unfortunate events after each other here that probably safely assume that Shaki doesn't feel too good about.
That's why I think we feel rather behind right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's never good, and never a good feeling to have. But sometimes that can honestly be enough to change up your route a bit and be a bit more aggressive and maybe go for some place to gain some time back, which could be what we need right now.
Yeah, definitely, and I really hope we see some more aggressiveness right now. Maybe leaving some chests.
Yeah. Except for those the Smith chain that itsotter did, we haven't really seen the myths being utilized too much. We haven't seen what's over in the Meyer area yet, or like going back up to the mountain. I think it makes sense we haven't seen it yet because we got such a good option of doing 2 crystals here. But as soon as we're done here, if we don't get any progression, it's gonna be some big questions for itsotter where he's gonna head next.
Yes, I think he will check the mushroom and then up to Catfish, and then maybe up to the West Mountain again. Checking Hotshot Cave, Super Bunny, and the entrance of Turtle Rock, maybe.
Yeah, that certainly is one of the options. And yeah, Eastern not giving us much so far as well. So these 2 dungeons might just have been like the biggest bait.
Yeah, open, doable, but no progression at all. Big key in Eastern in its vanilla location.
Looks like Shaki remembered as well that has to be a small key in that vanilla big chest. Itsotter almost forgetting the big chest here for a while. Oh, it's only a map. Would have been rewarded for forgetting it.
But now he can read something while he moves up
Yeah, I guess
towards
that's
the Armored Knights.
Alright, so that tells me there's one item left in Eastern. Otherwise we would not have gone for that big chest, so it could still be progression in here.
Yeah, but right now, how everything turns out, there's nothing. Maybe just the one arrow that's in the pool.
And that would be fitting. For a nice spin going into that room. Oh, just barely missing the one cycle on these red Igors. Gonna head into the boss fight here and set up for a quick kill. See if they get it or not. Ooh, they get a bit high. Standing a little bit high there at the beginning, but luckily this boss isn't the worst one to recover at. There's an ice rod, so that is something we need at the very least.
It definitely makes so we don't have to go on ice rod hunt afterwards after we found everything that we needed, because it's just for the for Trinex. There's nothing else you needed.
Yeah, so definitely nice to have that one showing up. And okay, so Shaki is gonna just go through the I think he skipped one of the keys in the back, and therefore has to go through this entire sequence again. Or no, I think he skipped the basement key. That must have been it. I think he must have skipped the Stalfos basement. So I wonder if it probably just would have been faster to open up the door and go grab that Stalfos keys if that's the one he skipped, and then mirror and just go through again. We get another sword in my shed. Shaki standing still there for a little while, so maybe just double counting the items or something like that, making sure he's not missing something.
Yeah, he definitely left one of the small keys, and therefore has to go through this way. Oh, and there's a fire rod and checkerboard cave.
Oh boy, okay. This is starting to shape up to something, that's for sure. Now we have both rods. Does leave us the possibility of being able to do Ice Palace, which it looks like itsotter is going for here. It's gonna be without the cane, so you're gonna have to do the bomb jump, which is a little bit awkward and a little bit slower, but it's still a crystal, 3 items. I'm gonna go in here and buy some bombs or arrows before going in there.
Yeah, filling up. And if I saw correctly, Maya is blocked by Ether.
Yep, so that means we got at least 2 more trips up the mountain required, because we have to go grab that vanilla ether medallion.
Yeah, Otter decides to go up the mountain right now. I'm not sure. No, I don't think he has. He wasn't able to check Ether tablet early.
I think he was, I think, because he went back up after he got the mirror and hammer and did Hera, so you should have that information, I think.
Right. You went up afterwards again. I was just thinking about his first trip there.
Some spins here on Helmasaur for Shaki. And I think one more should be enough. gets Super Bunny Cave from Otter. Picking up anything important there, but we do have Hookshot Cave left. We do have Spike Cave, and we can pick up that Ether Medallion as well, and also get the information for the rest of the seed, what we need for Gilmore by checking the Tetrarch Medallion as well.
Yeah, and he's right on its way while Shaki picks up the crystal, and we see Ether as well, so that's clearable right away.
Well, not quite right away.
Yeah, not quite right now because we're missing Samaria, but it's open in a moment when he picks up Ether.
Yep, so that means we only need for Otter's part at the very least the cane and find those boots. Well, Shaki also needs to find the mitts that will also give him the fire rod. And we find our last sword in Hookshot Cave. Ooh, almost the same quitter from Otter, but remembering did come up here for a reason to grab that medallion.
Yeah, and it's quite important right now, so better don't forget this.
It's gonna flip to 1 and go up from there, it looks like. We're just taking a little bit of a thinking pause here. See what they want to do next. You don't necessarily have to go grab that medallion quite yet. They can wait until they get the cane.
Grab it yet now because Maya's a crystal as well, so you have to head up there and back down and back up.
Yeah, but yeah.
So it's a very
definitely would have been faster when we were up there. But with the mirror, at least we can just go up the other way around and grab it as soon as we get the cave or the cane. Looks like it might be a swamp play here for Otter. This is gonna be a big monk-ass moment because if there's required stuff in here, and Shaki definitely did the right play early, but we're kind of forced out. And yeah, that would definitely be a heartbreaker.
Yeah.
But if there's nothing in here, maybe Shaki saved some time by not having to do the rest of it.
Someone pointed out in the chat that Otto might not have checked Ether tablet on his second trip, so he might not know what's up there.
Okay.
And with Terra cleared, that's orphaned as hell.
Yeah, if that's the case, I mean, then we're looking at good news for Shaki, to be honest, because he has already orphaned a pretty bad location. This could even up stuff.
Yeah, that might have put him back in the game.
Okay, so yeah, very, very interesting how this seed is playing out right now. Looking at what is going to be the next big play. We might actually have it going on right now here in Swamp. But we didn't see too many items when Shaka was in here, so there's still a couple of left. We do get that green pendant as well. And honestly, we even have pedestal open at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm very intrigued about the mushroom still. I just want to know what it is.
Yeah, both runners have the flute. No one has turned in that mushroom quite yet. We have had it for a long time. There is a couple of Orwold stuff open as well. Throughout the rest of Skullwoods as well. There's definitely options open at the moment. For Otter, there's even the option of going into Ice Palace too.
Yeah, while Shaki fights the Amos Knights, setting up for the quicker, missing one shot.
Yeah, one of them kind of bumped into him a little bit and managed to get away. But, nice recovery, gets the Ice Rod, and it's going to be very interesting to see where Shaki decides to go from here. Because his options is definitely a bit more limited at the moment.
Yeah, And Otto setting up for diver down with bombs as well as Shaki. Let's see if he is more lucky.
Yeah, does have a lot more bombs, so does have a lot more room for failure here. Shaki is walking out of desert, or not desert, Paths of Darkness. He's frustrated from over. Gotta turn in the no, not gonna turn in the green pen. He never did Sapphire. Okay, that makes sense. And interesting if he goes back into the portal, because if that's the case, probably gonna head over to the pyramid and then up to potion shop in Catfish. Maybe even do Sora as well, which we can isolate it early for Shaki there.
Yeah, and with him searching his mids, he will definitely check this.
All right, he's walking out of here. This is a big play here, because how the siege plays out for Shaki is probably gonna depend on if he mirrors at the pyramid or not.
He doesn't really have much spots left without the mids. So checking pyramid and then hopefully doing Dark Horse. In the meantime, left side of Swamp holds the big key and the big chest itself for 50 rupees. Nice to have, but you don't need it.
Uh-oh.
So
yeah, Shaki is not gonna check it. So I think he probably thinks it's a map in that chest.
yeah, but the map was in the bag. So he should know about it, but it's hard to remember if you're not inside.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while since we did that as well. Skipping the mirror here at the potion shop as well. Ooh, Kane in the back of Swamp Palace. That is crazy and very unfortunate for Shaki, because he was in here super early.
Yeah, would have made so much things so much easier.
Yeah, this is definitely not playing out in the favor of Shaki at this point. Do remember though, this is a best of 3, so no matter who wins today, it is not over yet. They're gonna play at the very least one more game, and if it's tied after that, it will be a game 3.
Yeah. Shaggy finding some money. Yeah, and now heads to Zora to get his bombs for 500.
So Shaki might honestly head back into Swamp Palace in a somewhat near future. Missing the mids is gonna push him towards that one way or another.
Yeah. Hopefully he goes for Dark Cross now, dropping down here. And no.
Looks like he's gonna head over. Kind of forgot to activate that flute earlier. I think we're heading over there to do that and see where he decides to flute after that.
Yeah, prepares while Otto thinks it's time for his Ice Palace.
Yeah, Otter is boots from Go mode, so he can do every dungeon in the game except for a desert.
Yeah, he actually needs Ether as well, and it's still on the Ether tablet on his side.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, if he doesn't know about that, might end up full clearing a lot more stuff than needed.
Yeah. Well, with the can of burner, he might go up there sooner or later because now a second check has opened up by logic.
We're finally gonna get to see this mushroom. Oh boy, I can't wait for this to be the boots.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same. That boots there. That would be huge. So much time save.
I mean, that's basically boots, right? That's almost the same thing.
Almost. It's a little bit red and a little bit black, so it's like boots.
Yeah, and it's always close to our heart.
Oh,
Okay,
Shaki
so
going back.
yeah, this is gonna
So
end up being
first.
good. It's not gonna be too happy about it, of course, but it is the play, one of the plays that he needs to do at this point, at the very least.
Yeah, Penguin Isa is on Isa tablet. With the Cane of Samaria, Otter setting up Icebreaker here. Rather recently discovered at the beginning of the year.
All
And
right,
a
so we had. Oh, sorry. So we had Ether on Ether tablet. We had the shovel on the shovel dude. Gonna have boots on Sashula? Is that what we're doing today?
Sounds logical to me, or boots hiding on pads because nobody decides to read it, and that always turns out bad.
So back into swamp for Shaki. Plenty of bombs this time around, ready for some redemption here.
I won't be too surprised if he goes for the safe route there and just picks up the key and then goes back.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so right now I think Otter is in a better position, but could be spending a lot of time looking for that Ether medallion. Could end up doing the rest of the pendants, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, but first he will do cold, just on its way, picking up a little bit of magic for the fight. And without now it's not Samaria, it's Bombos. What I was about to say. He has to use Fireward.
Yep, half magic. You got plenty of magic to spare here, and gold sword, really nice in this fight as well, because you only need like 4 slashes per coaster head. Very nicely done here from Otter. Clearing out another crystal, not getting any progression though.
Yeah, progression is really scattered around this time. So is Isa known to us, at least? Boots might actually be somewhere in a dungeon, hiding.
Wow, and just to add insult to injury, Shaki gets the bomb diver down on the first try here, second time in.
It's always like that. The moment when it's count, it doesn't work when you're coming back later on with better equipment, more bombs or anything. Okay, first try.
Okay, we're going over to Sashla, see what this green pendant bought us. I was honestly a little bit surprised that itsotter decided to do the boss in Swamp Palace, but since they didn't have the Ether, I guess that makes sense at that point. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised if you just mirror out at that point and go for all the crystal dungeon.
Yeah, and he was so deep into it, was yeah, in the back, grabbing it, and you're almost there, and it's a green pendant, and you are missing items, so you don't want to come back for that later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Order picking up some potions here as they went over to the potion shop. Always a nice opportunity to do so, and we've pretty much done most of the stuff we need in terms of money, so can definitely afford to do that. Going back up the mountain, this could be an Ether tablet play combined with Spy Cave. And if that's the case, timer for Shaki to come back into this race has used significantly decreased.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else that Otto wants to do up there. Only thing might be he forgets about the tablet, but I don't think so.
Yep, so Shaki definitely gonna get back to that basement quite soon. Or potentially this will lead him into Skullwoods and maybe be able to grab the boots that way. But even still, I think Otter is definitely in the more favorable position right now.
Yeah, it's I would say he's definitely ahead right now, but we are still missing the boots. So I'm really intrigued where they are. Maybe they're in Scar Woods in the back, hiding with Moss.
Maybe they're in Meyer, where Otter is heading now. You can only have boots in Meyer if you have Eggshells. Yeah, did end up skipping the Spy Cave there after getting that Ether Medallion, so probably not going to check Spy Cave until after Tartarok at this point. Spy Cave being a check that Shaki actually could do after this. Does not require the meds, even though it's on Dark Death Mountain. You know, when we started up this race, I knew it was going to be an interesting one for sure. I could not have guessed the different reasons of why though. This definitely been a bit crazy so far. Let's see how it all plays out in the end here.
Using hammer.
Yeah, a little bit surprised of that because Master Sword spins deal the same amount of damage. Could even go for Ice Rod shot as well.
Yeah, was a little bit unusual to see. But we're finding not any item, just a small key, and I think it was a map here in the first checks, and now heads to the switch room. While Shaki decides to hand Sahashala the green pendant, well, I don't know. Does he turn independent for the item, or does he just shows them?
Yeah. All right. So Shaki is gonna head to 4. Okay, is this just flew to the wrong place? No, he's going for it. All right, we're gonna get mitts for Shaki. No, 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 don't leave. Okay, never mind. Debated. We're not gonna get mids for Shaki right now. We were close.
Maybe he wants to get about from the other way.
Yeah, he might go for the other way here.
Which is in fact a little bit closer, I think.
Yeah, he is toying with our emotions right now, that's for sure. He is probably not going to be too happy finding this, but it is a good find. And if he flutes over to 6 as his first stop, then he will make a lot of progress real quick. But definitely working from behind a bit here still. It does have that, itsotter has that Ice Palace cleared already, and by the time Shaki heads over to Meyer, even if it does it right away, then itsotter is almost going to be done with Meyer as well. Alright, so there's the mids. That was a pause of not being too happy. Looks like he was going for a death warp first there, but death warp would actually only put him back into the back of the escape. It's gonna be very interesting to see where he goes from here. He's gonna mirror to 6. Very good news for Shaki, because he's gonna be able to grab that fire rod right away. And he's gonna see what medallion it is as well, and probably just go straight up to grab that medallion right away as well. And at that point, the question is going to be, is Shaki going to do the spike cave or skip that as well?
Maya not holding any progression right now for Otter. It becomes more valuable. So maybe holding boots.
Maybe. Yeah, the boots are definitely the only big question mark we still have here. And I mean, what would be the best placement for the boots for Shaki's sake? It would have to be somewhere not on the way, because otherwise itsotter is going to pick them up sooner rather than later, I guess.
Yeah, but we don't have those many checks left. I think Graveyard Ledge is still in play. Pedestal. Pedestal might be the best way.
There is definitely a scenario where Shaki could feel behind enough at this point to go for some more crazy plays and hope to get like bailouts. Or using the blue cane here to not take any damage. And the gold sword makes pretty quick work from all the small eyes. Then you'll only need 8 arrows after that to take care of the big one. And then the last 4, just these bones. Alright, so that's another crystal, but no boots.
This actually allows us to check Pyramid Fairy for the second of the 5-6 crystals.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. So that's something that itsotter could decide to do. Gotta find out that he's actually bootslot here in Desert. Very surprised he actually didn't do that before going into Meyer, because could have been in go mode at that point and just go mode in Meyer.
Seeing the small key on the torch and checking the chest here to make sure big key is not in there. While Shaki checks out that ether is required for Turtle Rock and decides to go inside.
Yeah, I like this play. He was already up on the mountain, so he's just going for this and probably maybe even Spike Cave after. And he also had like all of the rest of Dark Depth Mountain to do. So I think that makes a lot of sense, and I like going in here before checking the rest of Dark Depth Mountain too. And I mean, if it's up here, that that would be really good for Shaki. He would be able to go mode Ice Palace, Desert, and Mire. Might not be enough still, but that would definitely be pretty good in his case here right now.
Yeah, that would help right away. And Otter going for the big bomb here.
Yeah, looks like he's trying to clean up some of these overworld stuff before committing up to one more mountain trip, because if you go up the mountain without the boots, then you're committing that you're gonna have to do an additional mountain climb after that. So it looks like he's trying to just do a little bit of cleanup here. Gonna be able to check the pyramid at the same time as the big bomb. Got one item from Tartarok so far. Got an additional 4 plus the one in Mialee.
Something red on Pyramid Ledge, but it's just rupees.
There's bombos. Well, we don't really need that. We already even did Ice Palace, so it's really no value.
Yeah, it's nice, but not needed in any way right now.
Okay, so Otter is heading up Death Mountain now, though. So it's not gonna be too far behind Shaki going into Tartarok. So the lead that Shaki has in the dungeon alone here is not gonna be enough to make up for the 2 dungeons that itsotter has already beaten, I don't think.
And with the big key in Maya being kind of hidden away.
Yeah, honestly, I think best
Time.
option for Shaki would probably be Pedestal at this point, just because Otter would have to do Feast on as well.
Yeah.
You might see a couple of commands in the chat right now. Make sure to follow both of our runners today. They have been doing great work here in the tournament so far, and in the brackets too. I mean, they're in the semifinals of the Master bracket here. So definitely, if you enjoy what you see, go give them a follow. Shoutouts to Floyd making this restream happen.
Also, don't forget our lovely tracker over here doing all the nice work behind the scenes.
All right, Mimic Cave. So what we have today here. So our options, if it's not in Tartarok, it's pretty much Skullwood's Pedestal and Spike Cave. I think that's it, right?
Which is still on. Still on. But other than those, yeah, that's it.
All right. There's another vanilla item for us today. Why not? They just keep coming.
Yeah, there's so many vanilla items right in this ways.
Another bust in the crystal roller room. So that leaves 2 more items here in Tartarok, and other than that, well, we're gonna have to search a little bit deeper into the seed.
Yeah, if this continues and then Ganon's big key, the big key of Ganon's tower is also hidden away deep inside, we might risk the collection rate for above 200.
It's definitely looking like it's gonna be high at that point. I think 200 might not happen because just how open and like standard and those works, you end up skipping stuff no matter what, like keys and just like stuff that you see in the overworld. But yeah, definitely looks like a full clear so far. And Shaka's best option, if it's not here, would be to go straight for Skull Woods. But he might not go for it if he doesn't feel behind enough. He's gonna take the safety door here. Does not want to risk taking a death and then have to redo half the dungeon. That's a good safety for sure.
Yeah, and he died often enough the seed already to make up for it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna come down to that, to be honest. If Shaki goes into Ice Palace and Mr. Meyer after this, which, I mean, it's logical to go for it for sure. They are crystals. But it's not the right play for him right now. And if he goes for those, that might just be enough to seal the deal.
Yeah, that would give Otter most likely enough time to find boots before him.
Oh, did we see Graveyard Ledge, by the way?
No.
So that's another one we can put on the list. And did okay. Nice first part here. Try next for Shaki. Just need a couple of attacks here on the second part. It's a double spin, looks like, and then a single slash. It's enough to take him down.
Yeah, very nicely done.
Do you believe there's an item on the boss? Oh, there's the boots. Probably bad news for Shaki, because that means itsotter is about to hit go mode. Shaki actually hitting go mode first in this race. I would not high guess that a little while back, but he has a lot more to do than Otter. Otter only needs to do Desert. Shaki needs to do Meyer and Ice Palace and Desert. So that's gonna be a tough sell to try and do before Otter is done with the rest of this dungeon and then Desert.
Yeah, it's definitely the one thing you don't want to see if you're down that far and then see, oh, okay, go mode here.
Yep, Ganon's tower routing could definitely play a part, and I mean we have seen races being swung in crazy ways before in this race, in this tournament. So it's definitely not over until it's over. But I think Otter is definitely in a pretty big advantage here. I don't remember what the big key in Meyer was. That's gonna play a big part as well, because that is gonna depend. It's gonna decide how fast Shaki can do that.
Yeah, I think it was on in the chest behind the big chest.
Okay, yeah, it's not great location. Shaki killing the Pen Gators and then realizing, no, I'm in go. We don't need to do this.
Yeah, need to go fast here.
Yeah, no time to spare right now. And especially with the safeties we have like multiple bottles, we have half magic and some invincibility items and red mail. Good amount of hearts. It's gonna make the potential deaths that can sometimes occur be less likely, which is definitely another thing in favor for Otter. So there is a scenario where Otter might feel really behind as well with skipping the for medallion for so long.
Yeah, that might be a thing. But he was having mids very early. And I think he's a little bit better equipped for a longer time. He found the gold sword, I think half an hour ago already. And also was a really nice Twinex fight.
Yeah, so that's Trinex down. And Otter is hitting go mode here. So Shaki is gonna be a bit more than a go mode, a bit more than a bad go mode Meyer behind. Pretty much a go mode Meyer, a bad one, plus Colster behind Otter at this point.
Yeah, at least both have to head down there because Desert is right next to it, just on the other side of the mirror. So there's no additional time loss.
Yep, that part is nice. Use the mirror after Meyer to get Desert. And I know that Shaki, as I've actually been mentoring Shaki throughout the entirety of this tournament so far, and I know that lately he's been quite interested in doing the Dark Magician route in Gandalf's Tower, which is not the most common route for people to take. So that does have a potential of maybe a divergence in Gandalf's Tower.
Yeah, and depending if you're going right or left first, you might end up with 5 to 6 minutes in difference.
Alright, we're gonna get the big key in the vanilla spot, and then Otter can mirror from there, head to the back part. Shaki is gonna head into Maya here first, I imagine, and then just go into Desert afterwards.
Yeah, definitely going into Maya first. So you are saving some of the transitions between light and dark worlds. So in a moment, Otto will find the desert boss here, and afterwards is heading up the mountain again, which means we will play our beloved game again.
Right. 22 locations in Gandalf's Tower can have the big key. So whenever one of the mods starts the game, just enter a number between 1 and 22 where you think the big key is going to be. But don't do it yet. Wait until a mod types exclamation mark stars. Yeah, that's 7 crystals. Order is going to head up the mountain for one final time.
And the game has started.
I see a good spread of numbers in chat. So Shaki is looking for the big key here. Not finding a small key in the first torch room there, deciding to leave and check the rest. So skipping the cutscene chest, that's gonna be nice for him, but needs more time save than that for sure. He probably needs something to go wrong for Otter in order to come back here, because execution alone probably not going to be able to save up the time difference right now.
No, there's definitely to be something going on for Otter. Both Otter having the gold sword while Shaki only has tempered, and both without silvers right now, so we will see some spin strats right now on Gan if nothing changes.
Getting a little bit bullied by these dead rocks here, but Red Mail makes sure that Otter doesn't take too much damage from it at the very least.
Yeah, they can be really nasty, and if they just end up in the wrong spots, you're standing there and watching the purple stone.
Yeah, that's the worst, when they first knock you around a bit and then you hit back and they just get frozen in the wrong spot and block you instead. Alright, here we go. Into Ganon's Tower, we'll see what route Otter decides to go for. So we're heading to Hope Room first, see if they decide to go to the right side or not. If they find a small key, we find powder, nice safety. No small key. So that does open up the potential difference in routing in Ganon's Tower here.
Yeah, and not checking tile room, nobody does that early, I think.
There's actually a crazy strat made by Kern called Living on a Prayer. You only check tile room if there's no small key in that first two chests. Then if you get a small key, you just continue full right. They're silvers. Very nice find. And the key. Just everything we want, except, you know, the big key, which I guess, is the thing we want the most.
Yeah, definitely holding some nice items here, making Ganon a lot easier.
Shaki done in Meyer, but still needs to complete Desert 2. Gonna mirror here, right on the spot. Head over to the torch. And unfortunately, see, it's a small key, so it's gonna have to go to the right side as well.
Chest number 9 for another small key. And now into the render room, where you only head if you're playing randomizer or playing the game for the first time. If at all.
Yeah, I certainly can't remember ever going into this room before playing Rando. I almost said there's the big key. Well, there is the big key. Saw it on the wrong screen first, but we did get it in Rando room.
Yeah, I counted 12.
Well, sounds right to me.
As well.
So SO last summer, winner today in the Ganon's Tower by Key guessing game. GG's.
Yep, and Otter has started to climb the gauntlet while Shaki's on the way to his last boss for the last crystal.
heading up the gauntlet here. Pretty much maxed gear in most cases. So can you choose whatever strat they feel like. Just like a little bit of a combination of sword spins and silver arrows right now. Nice snipe there on the last Sassax in that room. Almost through the first part of the gauntlet here. Gonna head into Lambo 2. The Shaki defeats Lambo 1, gets his 7 crystal. I'm gonna be able to head up to Ganasar.
Yeah, and right now around 7 minutes behind. So it's a lot of catch up to do. Yeah, auto defeating Landmoss 2 there in a 2 cycle. Nicely placed shots.
Yes, definitely past some of the more dangerous parts in terms of taking a lot of damage. But in terms of damage, we're pretty safe. I guess like the biggest drawbacks here would be the falls against Moldarm and Ganon. But even then, at this point, itsotter has some leeway to even go for like even a fall here against Ganon would probably not be enough. Ganon fight with Silvers is less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, he would have to fall more than once, I think.
Yeah, and if the runners have the race room up, this is definitely one of those moments where the nerves starts kicking in. For Otter, it's like I'm almost done. Please don't snipe. For Shaki, it's like a lot of stuff went wrong, but we're heading into Gannis Tower and no finish timer yet, so it might still be possible.
Yeah, as long as there's nobody finished, it's everyone's race because, as I like to say, to finish first, you have to finish first.
Getting 2 hits there. It's 4 more. And for a it gets a single there, so this looks like a little bit annoying pattern there, but this one is good. This one should be able to be a little. Ooh, gets botted by one of them though.
Yeah, and with them being out of sync, it's getting harder and harder. Well, this is the 6th, and he's down.
Yeah, I got 2 is dead. It's only Ganon left. Gold sword, that's definitely gonna speed up the first couple of phases. Silver's gonna speed up the last one significantly as well.
And Shaki goes for full left here, so at least he has that.
Yeah, Shaki did pretty much everything right after finding those myths that he could have, but just was a little bit too late at that point.
Unfortunately, the Thief Town play didn't pay out. WaltherIV makes it to phase 3.
Right now, we don't have these runners' second game scheduled quite yet, so we'll have to find out a little bit later when those will be played. If itsotter does clinch the win here, though, it will be Shaki's decision to pick the next game mode.
Shaki starting his gauntlet while Otter is on the last phase, just one more hit.
Nice nerves there, not to move your D-pad after getting hit by that very bad, and does get the last arrow in here. Just needs to cross the bridge and get your GGs in for itsotter, taking game 1 between him and Shaki. We're certainly gonna see if the runners wanna come in and talk about this seed. Shaki already up into the gauntlet here, so might very well just decide to finish this first as well. Right, Shaki heading into number 2, and we are joined by itsotter. GG's, dude. This was definitely an interesting seed.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what's your thoughts on this one?
Not too brutal. I mean, relative to the runs I've been doing in practice, this actually felt pretty easy. But I feel that way because my gamble going into Swamp paid off. If it hadn't paid off, I would be saying something very different.
Yeah, we had some divergence between you and Shaki. Shaki had 2 pretty grave mistakes that ended up hurting him quite a lot in the end. He missed the mitts in the Dark Sewers for a very long time. Yeah, and he actually went into Swamp like super early, like before Eastern Desert, Eastern Pod even. But he ran out of bombs for the diver down.
Oh no! That sucks.
Yeah, so that was definitely his 2 biggest time sink, and your biggest time sink, I think, ended up being you never checked the tablet first time up the mountain, or like when you did Hera.
I couldn't do that, I thought, because I didn't have a magic sword.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have the book, you can still read it, and it will like give you a pretty
information.
clear,
That's a really good point. I saw on my map, oh, I can't do this on my tracker. Why can't I do it? Oh, because no magic sword. Okay, skipping it. But
Yeah.
getting the information has been really smart.
Yeah, so we
Dang.
knew about that one for a long time, but Shaki didn't have any mitts to go for it, and you didn't have the information that it was up there.
Darn. Okay, I have to remember that. Even if I can't get that on my map, on my tracker, like it's still a good idea if I have a book to get the info.
Yeah, it won't say like this is an ether medallion, but it will be a pretty clear hint on what it is. It's like the same text for the pedestal.
For sure. Darn. Okay. Well, could have been worse. Gosh, so I really debated in Hyrule whether I was going to check Dark Cross or not, because I know there's one more treasure here, but I just got the what was it, the Moon Pearl, and I wanted to go do all the Moon Pearl things. I was like, while I'm here, I should not orphan this Dark Cross, and it paid off for me.
Yeah, Shaki did take a death orb and was about to go into the dark rooms, but then he hadn't done the back yet, so he just did back of escape and then kind of forgot to do the rest.
Oh, I see. He thought he was gonna go back of escape and check the Dark Cross at the same time, but then he forgot. Darn.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
That's too bad.
But it's best of 3, so this is only game 1 out of well, at the very least 2.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys talked anything about other dates potentially coming up?
We both figured out like maybe Tuesday and Wednesday were not good. I don't know about later in the week, but at worst we figured like we could wrap it up during the weekends. But we wanted to get at least game 1 done before the weekends, in case it's tough to schedule other weekday times.
Mm-hmm.
And spoilers, we will not be returning to open for game 2 because Shaki already told me up front like he doesn't like open. So
yeah.
I felt a little bad, but open is where 90% of my playtime is. So I'm like, I'm gonna pick open. It's what I like playing. So next time I'm sure it'll be like Ambrosia or something like that. I think he said he likes doing Ambrosia a lot more. So excited to see a different format next time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should definitely not like feel pressured to pick anything. It's like runner's choice, right? So
yeah,
next time will be Shaki's choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely gonna be interesting to see how the rest of this series plays out.
Yeah, I know he's like he won all of his Ambrosia games, I think, so that will probably be tough for me. I didn't win all my Ambrosias, but yeah, if it evens it up, then we'll get a game 3, and that'll be hype.
For sure. Would definitely be nice to see a couple of game 3s here this week.
Any other, as a former mentor of mine, Walter, any other thoughts besides forgetting to check the ether?
So yeah, we were a little bit interested about the play in when you got the ether. Did you have any thoughts about maybe doing Spike Cave or Church Rock at that point?
Yeah, when I went and got the ether, and what did I find there? I'm so confused.
Ether on ether.
Ether on ether, yeah. So I was going up there, and my path was to go check the ether because I was gonna wrap Spike Cave into it. Would you have still done Spike Cave after finding ether there, in case of like boots?
I think so.
Yeah.
At least Spike Cave, I think it's fair to do there because you're right next to it already. And
what else was there to check?
Touch Rock.
Oh, okay.
You could have had over to Touch Rock and like potentially, well, like that way, you would guarantee you only need to climb the mountain one more time.
I gotcha.
Which is what Shaki ended up doing when he found Ether, which did save him a little bit of time. He got to go mode Ice Palace and Meyer, but at that point you were already too much ahead.
I was still dreaming of not having to do TR until right before Ganon's Tower because I figured Desert might not be boots locked. I hadn't checked yet whether it was boots locked.
Yeah, that's fair. And
so
we are
I
joined
wasn't imagining I'd have to climb the mountain again. But yeah, it could have kind of messed me up.
For a second, because Shaki just took a fall on Ganon and forfeited, seeing that you already finished, and it was up in the booth here. So GG's, Shaki. Also, it wasn't enough right now.
Yeah, was fun the first hour.
Yeah, we could see that missing you, that you're missing, Dark Cross, which was progression for you.
Was my neighbor decided to start drilling holes in his wall like right when the seed started, so he was drilling for 1 hour and I wasn't able to concentrate at all.
Oh,
so
no.
I did a lot of shit here. So yeah.
I'm sorry about that, dude.
I'm surprised that I was that close. I mean, I was nearly done with Ganon and it was like 6 minutes later, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was competitive to the end. So good job with that. But I'm sorry that this happened.
Not your fault, so...
Yeah, with that being game 1, you have the choice in game 2, and Otter told us a little bit that you won't pick open there.
Yeah, I hate open, to be honest. But overall, I think the sleep was pretty fine. When I wouldn't fail that much, but it was. I routed it fine when it would work the first time, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You both had some, like honestly, not very big mistakes, but the few mistakes you guys did end up costing you quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
Um,
You were able
but
to see that when I found the mids in Dark Cross, I was like, really?
yeah, you were definitely walking around in circles for a little while there. But yeah, so have you given any thoughts of what your pick for next mode is going to be? If it's
Yeah,
not
for
gonna be-
sure. I will pick Ambrosia.
Mhm.
But I
So
hope
that's
it was still nice to watch the race.
yeah, it was very interesting because we had like for quite a while it definitely looked like Otter was ahead, but he did not get the information about the ether tablet, so it was definitely up in the air for quite a while there on how this was gonna play out.
Oh yeah, it was a big benefit for me checking it for early.
Yeah, there's the information on where the access to Maya and Turtle Rock is. A little bit unfortunate that the Go item boots in this case lies on Trinex, waiting for both of you. Would be anywhere else might have been even closer.
For sure. I was really dreading Boots turning out to be at like the beginning of Skullwoods, which I never went to. Thought I could look at the end of the race and see Shaki got Boots in Skullwoods at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, Shaki actually went in there as soon as you guys got Dark World access.
Yeah, I was going in there, then to Thiefstone. I did 2 Pendant Dungeons. I was thinking about doing Skywoods 2 for the blind pet check. But then I decided, well, let's check Dark Cross first.
All right, so yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see how this best of 3 plays out for the rest of it. We have at the very least one more game and a potential game 3 coming up. So make sure to check our schedule for when that shows up there. Hopefully we can get some more restreams in as well. There's definitely been a lot of restreams now in the brackets, especially now in the later brackets when there's not as many runners out there.
Oh yeah.
Makes it a bit easier for the restream team to make it happen. But we've definitely been doing a great job. We have had a lot of them lately.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the restream. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
The GG. Good luck in game 2.
GG. Good luck to you too, man.
The next restream is happening in 1 hour and will be Witty against Tornado in a tempered bracket. So also the game 1, but we don't know the mode of it yet. So it's been an enjoyable race. Hope everyone enjoyed. I did for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just a little shout out to Restreamer Floyd, to Oro for tracking for us, to my co-commentator WaltherIV, and Mialee. And have a good night or nice day, depending on where you are.
Yeah, have a good one.